historian for the Scott Ford House Incorporated and W.K. Kellogg team. I have with me today 3 lovely guests who are going to share with me their recollections of a Mississippi Granny midwife. And I want each of them at this time to give us their names.
Hello, I'm Dr. Hymethia Washington Thompson.
Good afternoon, I'm Ada William.
Good afternoon. I am Ruth E. Davis.
And our videographer is Miss Edna Harris.
Okay.
We are so happy to be here today as we engage in our interview. I have a series of questions, and of course you know how interviewing goes. As we ask one question and we get a response, there may be another question as a follow-up of that particular response. Nevertheless, I do have 34 questions listed here regarding the Mississippi Granny midwife you will be recalling. And so I want to know, and either of you just feel free to respond to the question if you have the answer. And of course, if there is a question raised here that you know nothing about, we will move on. But I want to know here, on this date, June the 2nd, what was the time period when you knew of a granny midwife who worked with you and or your relatives? Specifically, with whom did she work?
I was born in a midwife. My mom was a midwife, I know this and I know her. Her name was Bertha Parker.
Okay, Bertha Parker.
And she was living in Madison. At that time, she was living in Madison County. But I'm born in 1936. And first time I saw a baby, because I asked Papa where that baby come from, he said, this shoebox will be the top of the shelf.
Okay.
So anyway, you know, Mommy had this little bag, and Mama never let her look in this little bag. So one day, she left. Papa got us, we're going to spank it. We got a little spanking about that. Because he always tell her when Mama gone, we don't bother nothing, don't mess with anything. But my sister gonna be nosy, we gonna follow behind her. We know better. If she know better, we gonna follow behind her. And she peeped in Mom, she said, I don't see no baby in this bag. I don't see no with some scissors and some tape. And so when Papa got home, my brother told on us that my sister went in Mama's bag and peeped over in Mama's bag. Papa did not whoop us. He did not force us. You know how he whooped us? Told us to sit down in front of him and gave us each one a big dip of snuff.
A big deal of snuff?
Snuff.
So why was
And
that?
that's why today I don't smoke, I don't do snuff, I don't drink, I don't do any of that. We got so sick. We got so sick that Papa gave us a big dose of castor oil the next day, a big dose of black oil the next day. I said, Lord, if I ever get this, I promise you I won't peep, I won't look, I won't do anything. And I don't care what my sister said, I ain't gonna follow behind her. And I did not do that no more. And I guess from this day on, I don't smoke, I don't give snuff, I don't drink.
Oh, that is so interesting.
My mama said we were known was a midwife, and I was born in 1936. And I know she used to bring the little baby home and walk with the little brown grip. Where we thought the baby, she put the baby in the grip. And so now she tell her when she bring her back home. Now I left the baby with the mama.
Okay. So it was a mystery.
Oh yeah, it was
In
a
terms
mystery.
of
It
where
was a
the
mystery
baby
to us, and we
had
got
come
grown.
from.
We were about 12, 15 before I realized where our baby come from.
Okay. That is interesting. And you said all of this was happening in Madison
In
County?
Madison County, right?
And so what was the time period? I know you said you were born in 1936.
I born in 1936. I had to be about, remember, they was about 5 or 6 years old. Us children back in those days were wilder than the children nowadays, and when we were 5 or 6 years old. Because back in those days, Mama had us cooking and washing dishes, doing all that, but not sure 5 or 6 years old don't even know how to take a pot out of the stove.
Okay.
But anyway, I was about, longer in the 39 or between 1940, somewhere along in there.
Okay. Mhm. What was the community or county like during that time? In other words, were
Black
there,
on one side and the white on one side, and one dad looking, we had to walk to school, the blacks and the whites and ride the school bus and throw it up. We had to walk, going right by their schoolhouse, and they ride the bus and we had to walk. I told Rich, I remember when she born with the acting play, she remember. I told Rich, how Rich when she born with the acting play, I remember her, my head was staying down there.
1948.
so what was that like as you saw the white children riding
Oh,
by you?
And they talk about us, but I guess we overcome it.
They talked
We
about
got used
what
to it,
were
they
some
talked about
things.
it so bad, we got used to it, so we just, so then we went our way, they went their way.
Were they yelling out of the bus?
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, so sometimes they throw it us.
Sure would.
But we took all of that too. When we was on this white man place.
Well, what did the driver do?
Nothing,
Nothing.
nothing. He was a black man, he had no choice but to take the white over school.
He was a black man?
And finally, one of the black men in the community, an old man, Miss Smith Cotton, started riding the bus for the people started picking up black children from going to black school.
So the black driver just continued
Because he couldn't hear, he
to
couldn't
drive
hear,
the
but I said
bus?
that is no white children.
Okay.
But we made it.
And you were how old at the time?
I said about, I was going to school, I started school when I was about 5. Cause like I said, back then, mom, pre-raised or teach us at home, and Papa did too.
Mhm.
And we were about 5 or 6 when we started going to school. But we were more mature than each other when we were 5 or 6 years old.
Okay. How did there were other siblings with you, right? You said
Oh,
something
yeah,
about your brother.
it'd be a lot of us, cause, everybody that got, everybody was sharecropping, farming.
You were
But
sharecropping?
it'd be about, cause, Bear Joe Lowe was staying with us, it'd be about 6, 7, 8, or 9, 10 of us be walking to school every morning.
Okay.
So, be different people, different children, different houses. It'd be about us walking in, we had to walk up in the morning, walk.
So about how far did you walk?
Ooh, Lord have mercy. Right now, Rose, you know what Rose Scott at?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what a strawberry patch is? What they call the strawberry patch?
Yes, I know.
That's exactly where we were staying. We had to walk from there to Rose Scott.
Oh.
And that time, it wasn't no blacktop. It wasn't blacktop. It wasn't even gravel.
Mhm.
It wasn't.
So you walked several
We had
miles.
walls.
To and
ma'am.
from.
Do it for rain or cold, snow, snow. We had one pair of shoes. We had to hide our shoes in the cotton field and put them off. Mama put us on long bras and once, and we hide our shoes and go anyone with these long bras and cotton stockings.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was
But
some
we-
kind of life.
Oh yeah, well, I enjoyed it, thank God. I
Okay.
said, children need to go back to them old
Mhm.
picking cotton.
What was the granny midwife's name?
My grandmama named Bertha.
Bertha Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
Was she, yes, she was a member of your family.
That's my
How
mama.
old was she?
That's a picture.
Okay. How old was she?
At that time, if I was about 5 or 6, my mama had me at a young age, cause she had my sister, and she was,
Yeah, that's what I found.
that's my mama.
And the article in there, might have to pull it out so you can see the complete article. Okay.
So she was about how old?
Well, she had her first child when she was about 18, 7 to 18. So I said between 18 and 20. Well, at that time, I did not remember my grandmama. Well, she was a midwife, and that's how my mama learned how to be a midwife. That's my papa. My granddaddy, mama was a midwife.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Did
What
your
was her
grandmama
name?
deliver you?
My head, my grandmama, papa mama. Her name was Rebecca. If I can't remember, mama tell me it was Rebecca. I think mama got on a piece of paper somewhere.
Okay.
Well, she said she know why she's doing it. I just took her as a grandma. Her grandma was a midwife. That's why she wanted me.
Oh, okay.
Did your grandmother deliver you?
My mama did all for me. My mom didn't deliver me. Papa mama delivered me.
Oh.
But mama took the responsibility to help her out, deliver her own baby. Mama had my older sister by herself, when she was in the bed, didn't nobody know she was pregnant when she had plum.
Oh, what?
Didn't nobody know she was mama even was pregnant at the time. The mama and Papa said, you get fat gal, you ask where the baby come from. I said, I need to ask where it come from now. She here. You know where it come from. Well, anyway, mama had her case, Ed, so I'm 3 years, she's 3 years older than I am, so yeah, mama had her between 18, 19, 20, about 21 she had me.
Okay. Did the midwife, did Miss Parker catch babies beyond your family?
Oh, yes, man. Ooh,
Yeah, tell me about
Lord,
that.
he was. Ooh, Lord.
She delivered me.
So you want to talk on that?
Well, all I know is my mama might need to talk on it, but
Okay.
she delivered me.
She should be.
And my husband, mother had 15 children and one set of twins. And she delivered she delivered 13 births for my husband's mother. I let him read this right here so he could be intelligent as to what we're doing. And he said all of them were delivered by Miss Bertha Parker. So that was 13, because it would have been 14 births, because she had 15 children, but one set of twins. So that meant Miss Bertha delivered one set of twins for Mrs. Thompson.
Okay.
Mama used to work from walking a wagon, on a horse. She lived a couple of white, you know the region, R-I-D-G-E-L-Y, I ain't pronouncing that, I'm tired of She lived with some of the rice, white sugar.
She did with some white baby?
Mm-hmm, white and black.
Okay.
And they still call her Mama Hood. And I saw one of the maids on really bookstore, he said to ask me about Mama Hood, all to come on, why Mama Hood? And he looked at me, he was in the store, he not know that white man was looking at me, I said, and I told that white man looking at me. He said, I remember you from somewhere. And he said, did you just stay around the corner on the Will Rally place? I said, yeah. Your mama was Miss Burke? I said, yeah. And then he told me who she was, that his baby, he told me his child that mom delivered, she was in middle school and how she was doing everything. Well, she had a couple white. At that time, mom would give me 50 cents a quarter of buttermilk or some egg or something. Somebody paid with eggs, somebody paid with buttermilk, some greens.
Now, my mother can talk on delivery because she delivered 3 of Mama's children.
Okay. Miss Davis.
Yeah, Davis delivered.
Miss Davis, okay.
When I got in labor, my husband we didn't have a car, so he had to walk to get her. And Miss Bertha told me, said when he got there, he had to sit down and catch breath before they could start by walking back to my house. For her, and I'm about to have the baby. I'm trying to keep from having the baby.
Yes,
Till I'm by myself.
You had to walk.
Had to walk.
You had to walk with no car. I didn't probably don't have one.
They were living in that curve.
Oh.
She was living in that curve. And we were on the reactive plate.
Right, y'all was on the
And when they got back, all she could do to get in there and get the water hot and everything, and I was hollering going on. And you know what she said? You think about how it was when you got this baby. Don't you be hollering at it like you think about when you got pregnant with her. I bet you was carrying on and doing everything else and kicking your legs. She said, don't be hollering. You know, you got to get this baby out of here now. and that kind of got on my nerve. I didn't holler no more.
So she had to boil water from the stove.
She had to boil water because we didn't have running water.
Sometimes she had to go make fire, sometimes she had to tear clothes.
Okay, we didn't have running
Tear
water.
a sheet and make a baby clothes, if people don't have baby
So
clothes.
her up and got the water hot and everything. And
Whatever water for, I
but
don't
she
know.
got the floor. She put you on the floor. The paper and padded real good. You don't even know you're on the floor. And you got to lay down there with your legs open and have a baby. You don't be in no bed. And so every pain you have, she'll say, okay, it's almost here. And she'll say something to make me stop hollering. I was hollering.
Make you mad when you
Yes, that's right.
I'm sure it was hurting, right?
It was hurting.
She make you mad.
She said, oh, think about it. I bet your leg was higher than this. I bet your leg never to the ceiling when he got you pregnant. I bet he this and that, and she said all that kind of stuff. How many times did he get it before you got it? She said, oh yeah, you come on now. Think about how good it was. She said, I bet you was hollering, I bet you could hear you out to the road. Hollering and going on. You wasn't crying either. You just rejoicing. So come on now, let's have this baby. All like that. After a while, then she was gone.
So your mother was teaching you in the process?
No,
Well,
that's
it's
her
not
brother
right.
saying that.
Okay.
She American to get married.
Miss Bertha was saying all that
She
while-
said all that.
Why she had, well, she hollering, can't
I'm
do
hollering,
what you want to do.
and can't
And
do
she
it.
mama
She
got
tell me,
married.
she said, think about how good it was when you got pregnant with her. Oh, I bet you, she said, I bet you could have win a trophy out there when you can't on. She said, come on now, think about it. And she'd laugh or something, get me kind of
And
mad.
how old were you?
Let's see. How old was I? I born in 1930, and she was born in
You were
48.
born in 1930.
And she was born in 48. So how old was I?
She was born in 48.
Mm-hmm.
You were
We're
18.
young, we had children.
Were you 18?
18 or 20.
Almost. She was born March the 24th. And my birthday, June 24th.
You were 17 and
I'm
soon would
17.
be 18.
17.
We were young folk, grown.
Okay.
We thought we
She
were
was
grown.
born
Was
March
that
the
your
20th.
first child?
My first child. And you know what? Let me tell you about this. I was her mother, my grandmother was a midwife. So when I got married here at Mount Chad, and we went to Vicksburg. That's where we lived. And every month, I'm thinking I'm gonna be pregnant because I started having sex. I go to Dr. Dillard and start crying, tell him I'm not pregnant yet. He said, you still married? I said, yeah. He said, keep on being married. So then, I was trying to get pregnant. I wanted to get pregnant. I wanted to get pregnant the first time I had sex. I wanted her so
You
bad.
wanted to get pregnant
Oh,
the first
yeah.
time you had sex?
Oh, yes,
Why was that?
She was married to
I
my
was
dad
married.
and she wanted a baby.
I wanted a baby.
Oh, okay, I see what you're
Yeah, I
saying.
wanted a baby.
I'm
But
going
listen,
back to this
but
part.
listen, I got married in 46 and she wasn't born until 48. Oh,
Okay.
Dr. Dillard, if Dr. Dillard was living today, he'd tell you, I would go to Dr. Dillard every month. When my cycle started, I go down there crying. He said, now what's the matter now? I said, Dr. Dillard, I'm not pregnant yet. He said, you stay married. He said, you gonna get pregnant. When you get pregnant, you're gonna keep on getting pregnant. And my mother-in-law told me, she said,
Who was a midwife?
she was a midwife. And she told me this. She said, let me tell you one thing. I'm gonna tell both of y'all. I bet you done got pregnant and then he knocked it out. Y'all just carried on so, you done knocked the baby out. You know what she said, I bet you been pregnant. But anyway, I said, well, I want a baby so bad. And she wasn't born until 1948. So my mother-in-law didn't deliver her because I had moved back to Jack, back over here. But if I had been living around her, she would have delivered the baby.
Okay.
She was a good midwife. She used to go down to a place, it was Guillermo's clinic. And that's what, when they called her, she wasn't driving, but her husband, sister would take her down there. And she'd have her bag ready and everything. She'd go down there and deliver a baby.
For Gilmore Clinic in Vicksburg, Mississippi.
So who was that now? What
That was
midwife?
my mother, grandmother.
Give me that name. That
Catherine Hopper.
Catherine
There's a
Hopper.
picture of her
See,
right
I
here.
got to have these names right.
Catherine Hopper.
Now tell me again about Catherine Hopper in Vicksburg.
And she lived at 3005 Oak Street at the time.
Okay.
And she was a midwife, I mean a good one. She was
She was licensed.
Yes, yes. And she used to go down to that Guillermo clinic, and that's what she'd be down there having,
Now, Gilmore Clinic, was that a white clinic or a black?
It was
clinic?
black.
In Vicksburg.
I never met the lady, but she was black.
Okay.
That's
She
what,
delivered in
Well, I
clinics.
know.
She
In
delivered in clinics?
In Vicksburg.
Okay.
but she delivered at homes too, didn't she?
She delivered, she went to homes and everything.
And in clinic.
Yeah, homes
Yeah.
and in clinic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she went to homes, everybody called her, she was on the, she stayed busy.
So about how many babies did she deliver?
I don't know.
Homes and
A
clinics?
whole bunch of them, there was a let up for her, she was busy.
Okay.
But you notice the difference in Grandmama Catherine and Mrs. Parker. Now my step-grandfather had a car. So Mama said he drove
He
her.
drove her.
So she had someone to take her.
That's right, anytime when she get a call, he would always be ready and she'd have her bag ready. And I mean, she'd get going because we lived on the side, we lived in an apartment, next to where she was, in the house where she lived. And she'd be leaving out there all the time at night.
Get a call, how did she get a call, Mama?
Phone call.
Grandma Catherine had a phone?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that, I'm just,
Yeah,
you kept me with the conference.
Phone call.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, phone call. They called her at her house and tell
We
her.
didn't have no phone, they had to walk there and tell her, come get her.
Well, they would call her.
And
tell her.
So she was on call at any time.
And that
Yeah,
time, she stayed on call.
They don't go.
Whole time, 24/7, she was on call. And she would be gone.
And she was a mother of Canaan of Mount Carmel Baptist Church in
Mhm.
Vicksburg.
Mm-hmm.
Mount Carmel. And I saw a Lassiter receive a doctorate degree at Tuvalu's graduation. And her pastor, the last pastor she had was a Lassiter. So that must have been one of his grandchildren, or son, or somebody, because I saw him on TV. He was a Lassiter. But I didn't know that Grandmama Catherine had a phone.
Yeah.
I just knew she was a midwife.
Yeah,
We
she
didn't
had a
have
phone.
one.
She had a phone.
So that was in like 1940s.
Way back.
She had a phone.
I was born in 48, so Mama married in 46. So she had a phone
She sure did.
in 46.
She sure did.
So that shows you the difference,
Yeah.
the difference of the cultures.
Right, right.
Because Vicksburg is mentioned in here. Vicksburg.
Yeah. But they would call her all the time, and then she'd have to go. She stayed. She was on call.
And then something, the difference in the cultures.
Right. Within the culture, that's right,
Mhm.
yes. Well, all of this is very exciting and interesting. I'm trying my best to record it. Why did the midwife catch babies outside of medical clinics and hospitals?
That's a good
Most
question.
times, because like they said, the black women, when they go nowhere, because they never go to the doctor.
Well, why did they not go to the doctor?
Because they didn't have the money, they didn't have the way to go. They didn't have the insurance. And
In that article,
In
excuse me, I read her article.
Is
And,
it,
and it's in this article that Mr. Parker, what was his name? Lonnie Parker, her husband mentioned that there was no university hospital. So it's in that article about that. And Mama Mike can, talk about Grandmama Catherine's situation. But Mr. Lonnie mentioned in that article that that's why they were born with the midwives, because there was no university. In other words, there was no hospital.
They like to go to that.
And then sometimes,
You had insurance, you had the food, and the money.
sometimes,
Like I said, they were even able to pay mama for deliver the baby. They give her some combs, some
sometimes
eggs,
my
some
baby
butter.
was born, and my husband would pay some of the money and tell her he'd pay her later.
They want the black people, they would pay.
How much was it to pay for
$5,
me?
$15. Mama charged, started off with $5. I mean, I had a book of, I can't remember. I gave this book to Marie Stephen. You may remember Marie Steve. She had this book. I said I gave her a lot of mama stuff. Mama had paid, still owed her
For babies.
for baby.
I believe
$5.
Yeah.
Mama just bring them to the house and keep them money at a time, and they charge over $30, $50. You had to
Okay,
feed
so-
them 3
so
meals a
anywhere
day.
from-
3 meals a day, you so mad
anywhere
around
from
for the
a
teachers'
dime
baby.
up to
None.
$50.
She said greens and milk and
Right.
peas and
Peas and butter and eggs and stuff like that, people pay them with that.
Okay.
Now, let me see, there's a question within a question.
$50.
Why would she keep the ladies at a month at a time?
She got tired of the play when she go to a
Keep it
person's
for
house.
at a time. Who was this, Bertha Parker?
She would keep it for her house, because when she go to your house, sometimes they won't want to have food.
That's
You
right.
don't want to have baby clothes.
That's right.
Mom had to take time, Mama come up, cause Mama had a stroke on somebody's house she went to deliver baby. Ended up, Mama had a stroke because she was hungry, and her sugar and everything went up. Then when Mama started bringing paper to her house because she didn't have transportation. At that time, Mama didn't have no car, but Mama, I think she started driving by like 1950. And then that way she started going to your house. But she brought 3, Mama used to keep 5 and 6 babies at one time.
At her house?
At her house, and I had to be the one to help take care of her.
Well, myself
Tell me about that with your having to take care of.
I had to, when Mama delivered, I had to bathe them. I could bathe them. I had to, at nighttime, help the parents bathe them. If Mama get through with one baby, they go to the next baby. But I had to wash this baby up, clean this baby up, fix the neighbor string, do all of this.
You did.
No, I was gonna do that, but I didn't want to deliver.
Myself had Bill up there.
Mm-hmm. But Mom had,
She showed it.
she had, 5 or 6, she had Miss Cotton, one, no pumpkin.
Yeah.
She had, Betty Joe, I think pumpkin, and Rosemary Love, myself, cause I was pregnant, we all had a baby right on together. And I was thinking way out there with my sister and I, we had to help Mom when she delivered. Mama had no problem when she started bringing home, cause she had help. But when she got there, she had to cook and clean up and find something to eat and find some clothes to put on the baby. We even have a diaper.
And sometimes
We even have a diaper.
they had to make room to clean up for, because you put the baby, the woman down there had a baby, and you clean the house
And
up.
wash and clean.
And do all that for the
What, in the person's house?
And for
Yeah.
Oh, my
That's
God.
right.
we had a,
To be filth in there.
They
The
sure
woman knew she was gonna have a baby,
and
but she
no,
wouldn't even clean up, and she get there, she got to clean the place up before she can prepare for this baby to be born. They went through a lot.
Janice, I'm learning
This is very interesting.
this. It is.
That's why my
I
mother,
need to
that's
bring
why my
back the
mother.
you were mom in the hospital?
Of the help.
You were mom in the hospital?
I need to bring back the characters and the help
I know it.
to tell this story.
But
This
she-
is really very interesting. I'm grinning about it, but there's a lot of sadness in
It's a
it.
sadness
There's a
in
lot
it.
of sadness
But
in
I
it.
can say for her dad, when she was born, we were
There's a
ready.
responsibility, not just racism.
We were
There's a
ready.
lot of sadness in
It's
what
a
you're
sad,
telling
well, if you read the article from Mr. Lonnie Parker, he also says that there was jealousy within the midwives.
It
me. Okay,
was.
explain. Oh, it's in here. but
It's in
tell me
here.
what he told
He's
me.
in the article. You know me, I'm in English, you know I read it.
Right, I want you to tell me.
He said, and I didn't pull it out without her permission, but the summit article is hidden by another. But he said that Miss Bertha wanted to start like an incorporation, a business where they would be within a building and the midwives could work together like Mama was talking about. Grandmama Catherine went to this place in Vicksburg where she could deliver the babies where the women would come.
Yeah.
But the black midwives within the Madison County area were too jealous of Mrs. Bertha.
I know they were.
They did not work with her.
Yeah. I know.
They didn't work with
And
her.
they were black.
They were black.
Yeah, they were black. But they were jealous of
And he said that's why. And he was a builder. He was a carpenter. I remember him. And
He got about.
huh?
He got about.
Yeah, he was a carpenter, and he would have built the
place.
facility for his wife to
Yeah.
have accommodations for the midwives to work together.
That's right.
And they could have had first, third, and second shifts
That's-
and all of that.
That's right.
Now that was his vision for his wife. But the midwives were too jealous
They were jealous of Miss Bertha. Oh, yeah.
of each other.
Yeah.
But
So
you're
they
saying
were
that
like
a lot of
crabs.
things within this race.
Within this race. That was jealous. And when I read that, I said, hallelujah, Miss Alana, you talking to me from your grave. Because they were like crabs,
Yes, yes.
pulling each other
Yeah.
down.
We want you to stay here
It's
with
still no
us.
black folks still
Yes,
doing
yes.
this.
And I had planned.
Very, very interesting.
She was so good, she delivered 3 of my babies out of my 5 children.
Who
And
was
I had
that who delivered 3 of your babies?
Oh,
Bertha.
Okay, tell me about that.
And I had planned to give her a program at her church. And she died. I told my mother about it. About my life, what you call it, this is my life. I'm gonna give her a big program at Simon Hill. I told my mother, she called her, she said, you need to go on and start planning. And I kept, I don't know what happened, but I put it off. And I wanted to give her, and I think about it, I had dreamed that night that I was giving her that party. I mean, a celebration at the church about my life. Because she was such a wonderful person. Church-goer, Christian woman, this good person. And like I said, take a little bit of money and you could pay the rest of it later on if you didn't have it. But she gonna keep on delivering those babies. She delivered 3 of mine.
Okay. Well, I spoke to my best friend in Memphis, Dorothy Harris, and she told me that she and her siblings were delivered by Bertha Parker. This was before you and I talked, before your name
And
came
as Clara said,
listed on the list. Yes, but they have no knowledge. All they know is that they were delivered by Bertha Parker. So I see this is no accident that the three of you are sitting here.
Well, it's no accident that God, let's see, I've worked with Dolores. Because I kind of like you and I are, when we need help, we help each other.
Okay.
Dr. Hopkins. And when she said, well, Hymethia, we're through with the class of 70 now, because I was in that class, and that was not our graduation that was done here. I want to go on record of saying that as a team member. That was a splinter group. So when she called me and we were tying up some loose ends about our 70 graduation, she said, well, now I'm venturing into something else. I said, what are you doing now? She said, I'm working with midwives. I said, midwives? And I was relaxing, and I said, she said, you know anything about midwives? I said, my grandmother was a midwife, my daddy's mother. And my mother lived with her, and she, for a while, when she and daddy were married, and she tried her best to make me go into nursing and be a midwife. And she said, oh, I'm going to give Dr. Vincent your name. I had no idea it was her. Because I don't know her. She became a Vincent when I was in Wisconsin.
So that's how they made
Yeah, and so she...
Why you were going to Wisconsin?
Yeah, that happened while I was in Wisconsin. So, then when she called me, and I said, who is this? And she said, Hymethia. Janice. I said, oh. And that's how I got involved.
Yeah.
So God intended for this program to be helped with what you want to do, with just these two
Right,
ladies.
these persons have
God
so
works-
much lived
That's right.
experiences.
God worked in mysterious ways.
That's right, he does. And I believe that the ancestors
Yeah,
are talking here.
I believe
And ever
that.
since I heard about this 3 years ago, that has stayed on my mind because God has brought forth so many people to come in different ways.
Really?
And this is a new project here regarding systemic racism.
That's
You
right.
see, every year it's different.
That's right. Well, you need to look at the prejudice within the race.
Yes, that's right.
That's right. Not only
Maybe she'll
outside.
want to do that next year.
But
Maybe she'll find some funds for that.
yeah, but
It's interesting.
that Clara Harris, that was this Harris lady's sister, right? Was
Yes.
Clara was,
Dorothy, Clara, Larry, Vince, and Lois. There were
I
five.
wonder, where did they live? Because Clara was in my class at Brinkley.
Okay, now here is a concern. I'm wondering where they were delivered. Because Mama Pearl, you remember Mama Pearl?
Who?
She lived down the street from
Blue,
Aunt Suzanne and Mama Kenny.
Pearl Blue.
Pearl Thomas. Miss
Yeah,
Thomas.
Pearl Thomas.
Okay, okay.
Is she
Well,
into
that's
this?
her grandmother.
I didn't
That was
know
the
that. Now,
grandmother, so
Clara.
there's a linkage there to Tougaloo regarding
My mom got all over. Mom had her special lady. Now, mom
yes.
from
mhm.
Camel,
I gotta see
Blood
that.
small
Camelson.
It's a small world. We were in
All the-
therapy together over at the Baptist therapy. I didn't go last week before last. And Clara, we grew up together in Brinkley.
Mhm.
And with Audrey, your sister, in the same class. And Miss Bertha delivered Clara.
Yes, Miss Bertha, but they don't have any recollection like what's going on here. All they know is there's a name on the birth certificate.
Oh.
They know Bertha Parker, but that's all.
That's all they know.
That's all they know.
They missing out on a lot.
Right,
Ooh.
but you have come to tell it, and I've got to let Dorothy know that I found some folk who are talking about Bertha
This
Parker.
is her daughter. This is
Right.
Yes, this is the daughter. You told me the daughter was coming.
Yeah, I brought the daughter. She was anxious to come.
And I'm happy.
And I'm 82 now. 85. Lord,
85,
I'm
you're
85.
85.
And my mother is 90.
I'm 90.
Right, you're 90 and she'll
And
soon
she
be
delivered me,
91.
so I'm 85 and she delivered me.
Okay,
And I know when I had my first baby, she delivered all 4 of my kids.
Your mother?
She delivered me, and she delivered all 4 of mine. When I had my first one,
'Cause you
Okay.
I cut up so bad.
must be like I did.
I did.
I cut up.
Mama said, if you wasn't on my child, go, I'll throw you out that door. So when you and Bubba do it, you didn't holler like that. I said, yes, I did.
Well, tell me this.
I
Did
said, well, what that
racism interfere with her catching babies? Do you recall anything about racism wherever she was catching the babies?
She had some good white people, good doctors.
Did that
They
interfere?
never interfere with they come in.
All of the white people were good.
No, wait a minute.
No, all wasn't good.
Okay.
In the article,
I
she mentions the white doctor
Mm-hmm.
who trained her.
Okay, she was
Dr.
trained by
Palmer.
white doctor.
She
Dr.
mentioned
Palmer,
in
Dr.
that article.
Okay.
That's a
Palmer,
very
and Dr.
detailed
O'Connor.
article.
Dr. Connor,
Well, she mentions 2 doctors, white doctors.
Car and Fox.
No,
I think it's Dr.
and
Connor,
that
not
name's
Dr.
in there.
Michael.
Okay.
Dr.
So that's
That's
the
way
thing.
back before you were even in the
Mhm,
world. But she said she started delivering babies when she was 13.
Mm-hmm.
So neither one of them
From
would be.
having her and
No.
Yeah.
watching. Okay, once she refused opportunities to catch babies in medical clinics and or hospitals.
Now, Miss Bertha didn't. She didn't go to no hospitals, did she?
Unless she had a lady, you know, on these, back up in, let's see, when my sister had her baby, Mama had to take her to the hospital because his shoulder was coming forward. She had a problem with her. My sister, she had taken, but she didn't have no problem with it, but the doctor.
But no, did she have could she go into the hospital and deliver a baby?
Oh, yeah.
She delivered somebody inside of a white
She went
hospital.
to King.
She went to
King Daughters.
She came down the hospital.
What's the name of the hospital?
King Daughters.
King Daughters Hospital.
King Daughters.
King Daughters.
They say daughters, but it's daughters.
Okay, King Daughters. Now, where was that located?
In Canton, Mississippi.
Kansas.
Was that right
Right
there?
there.
I mean,
No, Mama was that on 51.
51.
But sure
Well,
was.
Braver brother
Old
was born.
51.
Right in front of that fold thing
That's
right
right.
there, right?
Okay.
Big old building
So
right in
So
front of
tell me about King Daughters. What happened there?
She had, Mama was up there with her daughter, and this white lady was having a baby, and Mama went in there, and they told the lady what to do. The lady was just hard. Mama calmed her down. Mama told the lady to prop her leg up, and the doctor come in and she had that baby in the room. And ever since then, they been giving Mama a name that King Daughter.
Yeah.
Okay,
She
so
got this white baby. She just helped the one with having the baby.
Yeah.
As the nurse came in, oh, he ain't gonna have the baby. He's not there. Mama told the lady, do you mind propping your leg and me down? Mama went and washed her hand and fed his baby. And Mama said, come on, do what I said do now. Hold. And when the nurse came back in there, Mama handed the
She
baby.
good.
In King Daughters Hospital in Canton,
She
Mississippi.
good.
okay.
So there is evidence
Cause before,
that she went in.
Is
So
that
he go 51, show what
Is that in this article?
I couldn't see the rest of the article
Okay.
because
when
it's
I was
covered.
about 6 months pregnant with Hymethia, my mother had my daddy to go get birth and come.
Where were you at home?
My husband and I had got into it and I went to my mama.
Okay, I'm just trying to see if you were
I
in
was
the
at my
clinic.
mama. Okay.
No, she didn't have none of us in the clinic.
Okay.
But let me tell you,
No, no clinic was.
And I was hurting, and I knew it wasn't time for the baby.
Okay.
But my mother had my daddy to go get Bertha.
Mhm.
Bertha came there and she said that baby was crossways in my stomach. And she said if she didn't turn it out, the baby would live. Because see, when I get in labor, it was gonna die. But she did something to make that baby. It hurt. It hurt, but it put her back in her place.
See, my dad was in World War II, and Daddy was shell-shocked, and he fought my mother.
Sure did.
And that damaged me a lot.
It
And
did.
He fought your mother.
while she was
Oh,
It
pregnant.
sure did.
Yeah,
It sure did.
it damaged me,
We
and
had
I didn't
fought.
find out a lot of things about some things until I was totally an adult, have been teaching so many years and going to doctors, and I didn't develop right. But and then finally she said what Daddy had done. I said, why didn't you leave him?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure did.
yeah.
And he was
So
slapped.
this was the child who was crossway?
Oh yeah.
And
I
Miss
mean, look,
Bertha
he would slap me. I'm sticking out so big till I can't holler, I'm wobbling. And he would slap me,
Mm-hmm.
you know, yeah, fight me like that, wouldn't hit me with his
She
fist like
stayed
that.
with him 19 years and she divorced him. I said hallelujah.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm
Divorced him during my
saying,
senior
that's
year.
how my baby got, you know, messed up in my stomach.
Mhm.
I almost lost her.
Mm-hmm.
But mama got daddy to go get Bertha, and Bertha, we knew Bertha was gonna deliver, but Bertha came down and she said, this is gonna hurt, she said, but it's gonna save your baby. He came to my mama's house and she did something to me, I'm telling you the truth, and I could feel that baby.
Turn around.
Isn't that interesting now how God works
Yeah.
with the life
I
of the
could feel that
midwife?
baby turn around, I'm not lying, I could feel that baby, when she turned around like she's supposed to, I hollered. And Bertha said, that's all right now, it's gonna be all right.
Mm.
So it was painful when she
Oh,
turned.
Yes, yes.
And she always called me her baby. I don't know what she did with anybody else. she
That's why
did,
she called you her
but
baby.
I was always, I felt always special to
Because
her.
she know, Bertha knew, if she hadn't came down there and changed that baby, turned that baby, see, I would have lost that baby, baby would have died. I couldn't live with that baby crossways in my uterus.
Right. That is really
Well, I tell you,
You ladies need to write your book. I mean, when is this
Could
book
you have
coming out?
died possibly?
You have so
Could you have
much
died?
knowledge.
Could you have died if she hadn't turned the baby?
The baby.
She could have died too.
both of us could have died.
Both of them
Both
could have
of
died.
That's right,
That's right.
that's
Both
right,
of them.
both of us could
Yes,
have.
that was very, very dangerous.
That's right, they said we both could have died. I could have, when time for her to be born, I would have died because she wasn't gonna come out, you know.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And it would have killed me.
Yeah, it would kill you.
Well, I tell
But
you.
I remember my grandmother she used to talk to me all the time and encourage me to get an education, get as many degrees as I did, and I did get a doctorate because this one woman told me to do it. Although I didn't become a midwife, but I did get the doctorate. She said that she would deliver babies and they would have both sex. And she would tell the mothers, because they didn't go and, you know, like they used to do. They didn't go to the doctor.
Sure did.
She said she would tell the mothers not to let anybody change your baby's diaper. Therefore, it wouldn't get out that the baby was born with both sexes. But you know, now what they do, they look at the chromosomes or whatever and
Yeah.
determine which one is more dominant, and then they remove the sex. And she told me she also delivered babies where the woman would have both sexes.
Yeah.
That's what she said. That see, during the time, those years, they didn't go to no doctor to make the decision to remove it.
Well, when
So
I
now-
worked for I worked for Dr. Dew, I saw that. He told me once that about this patient was like that. She was, you know, she was both sex.
So they had so much to encounter.
They sure did.
And it was a secret thing that they didn't go out into the communities and spread things. But she would, I would spend time with her in Vicksburg, and she would tell me stories and how hard it was, you know. Although she was, see, her husband was the first black
Electric,
licensed electrician
that's right.
in Vicksburg. So they were kind of like the uppity, I guess,
Oh, yeah.
like the Oklahoma, what we just saw, the Black Wall Street.
Oh, yeah. It's
So
up now.
they were in that category.
That's right.
So she didn't have as hard of a time as the midwives had. Now, she had a hard time, because I'm sure, you know, with racism involved.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, I know in terms of the sexes, that's still a problem down through generations in terms of
Now.
trying to understand and how many people who fall into that bracket are taken advantage of by society. It's still a mystery.
It's a mystery.
It's a real mystery. And so I'm glad that you brought this up because I've not heard this
Really?
in any of the interviews thus far conducted. It's very, very interesting. Well, you've already said you don't think that Miss Parker was discriminated against in terms of the medical doctor, so I'm going to skip that one. But did the medical doctors prevent mothers from having children at hospitals?
Well, he said, Mr. Lonnie Parker said there was no university. Now, he didn't mention King George, but he just said, I guess university is a hospital for low income. That's what I guess that's the way I interpreted it. That they didn't have anywhere to go, if they didn't have money to pay them.
See, they didn't want the blacks to go in the hospital because they knew they didn't have money, wasn't able. Most people were living sharecropping and didn't have money. And they didn't want to go in the hospital because they knew if they go in and had a baby, they couldn't keep them forever. They had to, So therefore, they didn't want them to go in the hospital. They were glad for the midwives to deliver the baby. Because they didn't want them in the hospital. Poor people,
Okay.
blacks.
Yes.
Most times when they went to the doctor hospital, they give a lady, I know a couple of patients, mama, they had a baby there, and mama got ill about it. I don't know what happened, I can't remember the story. The doctor would almost give you a hysterectomy.
Really?
I
A
heard
hysterectomy.
this.
I hear mama talk about that, but I could never prove it. Well, she
Okay,
had
you
named
heard your mama talk about
that they won't go to the
Make that
hospital to have the
statement,
baby.
yeah.
Okay, she said that if, her mother said, if the black woman who was poor would go to the hospital,
And 9 times out of 10, they'll give them a hysterectomy.
So they wouldn't
they'd have no more babies.
I vaguely remember something like that from reading some years ago.
I heard
I
that.
vaguely remember
Really?
that.
I heard
How there was an orchestrated effort to keep the black woman from having
More
a child.
For sure.
Yes, yes.
Now, were you delivered by a midwife?
Yes, I was the last of 4 children out of 10.
Who delivered you?
Her name was Lucinda Smith.
Here in Jackson?
Lucinda Smith, yes.
Okay.
I think my mama remember that because I know Lucinda was a mama had from Jackson. And well, this midwife came out, mama had her house trying to help her. I can't remember now, but I know she had some midwife. She had the ladies come out and help her with this baby sometimes. Mama used to have so many. And mama tried to have people that come away from town, come out there and stay. Mama would recommend to the lady in Jackson, but I really can't place the name now. But 9 times out of 10, it may be one that really didn't know my mama. She would recommend to my mama about somebody else. But if they know my mama, mama wasn't talking nothing. They were coming to where mama was. They wasn't going to nobody. Mama couldn't give to them. Mama couldn't give them to nobody.
Her reputation superseded.
They know her. They didn't want her. But I remember she was working for Virginia. I remember a lady in Jackson that she worked. I can't remember her name at this time right now.
Well, did your mother have a certificate?
Oh yeah, she had to go. She had to
You
renew it. She had to renew it. She put the
Did
pen
you bring the certificate with you?
It's mentioned in here as to how she
I
got it.
told you, dear Mama Marie Stevens, I gave her a lot of mama stuff, and she never did give it back to me. Well, I told her, my cousin yesterday, I called my sister
What's
to
her
ask
name,
her.
Marie Stevens?
She went to
Where does
Jackson.
she live?
Somewhere down here in Jackson.
Oh, okay, well, she's reachable, I mean.
She was in
Yeah,
Jackson.
Get some paper to her.
It been, I gave her a lot of mama paper. She got big copy of mama with that bag on.
Oh.
And she got some of mama's picture.
Okay.
Why
She
did
does.
you give them to her?
She said she was gonna give it back to me. She was doing a program on midwife.
Oh, okay. And you never, and
What,
she,
who is that?
Marie Stevens.
I know I'm talking to her, maybe if she did a program on midwife, it
She
should be
was
something.
going around doing, she got a lot of junk. She was in the paper. She was in the
Maybe, I
paper.
don't know. But if you can contact her,
I her sister read to Judge Jane, but her sister now got all time, she even know where I'm at, her own sister's name.
okay, I understand.
So,
Was she
I've been to
certified by the
I
county?
want some of my picture back.
Who, Marie Stevens? Marie Stevens wasn't a midwife.
No, it was Bertha Parker.
Oh,
Bertha Parker
State.
certified
She
by the
did,
county.
it's in that article, that how she got her certification.
Okay, okay, CR.
The article, just put
Oh, yeah,
CR.
she had to get a, she had a license.
sure did.
And you said she was compensated how, legs and calling out the items again?
Anything you had, she accept.
Okay.
Carl Green.
Isn't that
Carl
interesting?
Green today.
Very interesting.
Mama, did Daddy pay her for all three of us?
He couldn't pay her all at once. He paid us a little at a time.
But Daddy worked for the Natural Straits Park.
He paid her, but
It
he
wasn't
paid,
that he was out of a job, he wasn't ever out of
he paid, but sometimes he didn't have all the money.
Okay.
Was she forced into retirement?
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
She did quit
And
on.
it's sad
She
in that
always, she
article.
quit on, because what happened to
She
mom?
quit on her own.
I think she said, it says 1,019 babies, it says in that article how many
Okay,
babies.
I got to really get with that article.
You need to get with that
That's, I'm
article.
going to copy that.
That's, they need to
You don't
take
mind.
it out. and
She
let
too
it
sick when
see.
she too sick because
So
she
you
was,
can see the entire.
Yeah,
she couldn't deliver, they come out of the back.
Did she have assistants during the birthing process?
No.
And
You
if so,
have
who were
We
they and how
got
did they
help,
assist?
we go in there, me and my sister didn't go in there. They actually,
I thought you said
we
you
have
said.
actually delivered the baby, actually delivered the baby, then we go get the baby. But actually go in there and have the one, to have the baby,
Oh, you couldn't go in there then?
Okay, what were the things that you did do to assist prior to the
I go in there when
prior
she
to
delivered the
birth?
baby, and she cut the neighbor string, then I bathed the baby up and put the baby clothes on.
Okay,
Then I wash the mama up, and then I go, while she was another patient, I go wash the mama up. If I
okay.
get through with the baby for you, then I go get the mama.
You
and
dress
wash
the
her,
navel, you
and
said.
change her
that.
bed, and then go get the nation, that's what I hate to do.
Okay. And bathe the mother,
Mhm.
okay.
You want pee?
Well, in terms of assistance again, what was the transportation like? Who assisted her with transportation when she had to leave the home to go to take care?
She had to walk
Yes.
sometimes. She had to, the feet, she had to walk. When she,
Okay, tell me about, she walked.
she walked. If you
So
go
how
get
many
her,
times-
she'd walk. She'd get
walked.
that bag
She
and
didn't
walk.
have any
She
kind
could
of
walk
transportation,
fast,
horse, buggy,
Honey,
buggy, no nothing.
she could walk fast. She could
She
She
fast.
didn't have a buggy, she said?
No.
Okay.
Papa had to team up before, later on.
No wagon, no nothing. She walked.
She walked.
Majority of them walk.
Approximately
She went
how
around.
many miles did she walk?
Fine, oh Lord, you do, oh, how many miles you
Now,
walk?
how many miles is it from where she lived, we lived in the Yakima place? About how many miles is that? About how many miles would that be?
You around the corner anyway.
Yeah.
But you know she walked several miles
Ooh,
to
yes.
and fro. Okay.
Yes.
The men would have to go and get her.
And she'd never say no when you go get her.
But it wouldn't always be a man, because all women didn't have husbands.
Uh-huh.
So someone would have to go and get her.
So
No, that-
when you say someone had to get her, was she accommodated to and fro? Or was it after she got there, did what she had to do, and then someone came and got her? Because I'm thinking too at all times of days, at night, all times of days and night, that you talk about
Sister,
here.
brother were hanging.
So, could not have been that safe in terms of a
No, it was
woman
that night when he had to go
walking,
get her.
especially
at
with
night,
society
yes,
at night,
looking at
yeah,
her as
walking.
no
If
right
people
back
wasn't that
there.
bad, then
Yeah,
that
The
was
no.
same thing here today. And
Those houses weren't, it wasn't as populated like the houses are now. Those were rural areas.
Okay.
And people weren't as cruel as they were now.
No, they not.
They probably would see the midwife and get out of the way, respect, because she probably had delivered them.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
because
she walked.
she walked.
Sure did.
Now, you said your father ended up with a T-Mall Ford.
Your granddaddy.
Your granddaddy ended up with a T-Mall Ford. Did he take her?
Probably used to take her sometime, but that, by the time you came with that,
Now, which granddad you talking about?
Jim Dean,
Oh,
what
Jim
time,
Dean. Oh.
but time that,
It's well important. This lady knew me before I was born, so I wouldn't dare get in trouble with her. Her mother delivered me.
Do you have a story about a black doctor in the community during the time period of these deliveries?
I don't think Mama had no black doctor.
No.
We didn't have no black doctor. We didn't have no
There
black
was
doctor.
no black
No
doctor.
black doctor
When
during that time.
the time she was here.
Okay.
Not now.
No.
Did she spend time with any children she caught?
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Spend time with me.
Spend time with her.
Mama,
She called her
mama,
baby.
Well, tell me about that time during
As
that
she stopped bringing the little baby, she started bringing to the house, having Sunday school class, Bible class, all was doing. Oh, mama
See
say
that, Jen?
Okay.
That's a story within a story.
Yes, that's right. Sunday school class.
She
At
would
her house with
She
her
would
baby.
take Hymethia and hug Hymethia. Sometimes she'd see her at church, she'd grab and hug her.
She loved it because I became a teacher.
Yes.
And she said, and then I ended up marrying the pastor later on. And then, because he remembered her. She was a mother of the church, and often used to preach there at their church.
Okay.
So she loved me.
Yes, she
sure did.
That's why you're so small.
She sure did.
Never changes.
Janice.
Been that way ever since I've known her.
Oh my God.
You can't say no to her.
Well, who can I say no to you? I'm sitting out here with you.
Right, I look like you can't say no to me
I can't. With that.
either. Well, that's good.
I feel guilty.
We go way back.
Probably fall out the bed with a nightmare or something if I said no to you. and Miss Bertha and Grandma Cat and all those folks be getting me.
Yeah.
We have to honor them,
That's why you have to honor them.
Yeah.
Because they left so much.
They left
Sure
so
did.
much.
They did.
And so much not said about them,
Right. So now here's something you can say. How did you interact with the midwife? How did the children interact with the midwife?
Well, they always,
Yeah,
well, my husband, she delivered to Reverend Thompson.
Okay.
And so she loved him too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't she tell my
So in the loving, what were the interactions like?
Her children.
Did she
She
bake
got them her
cakes
children.
for you?
And
Did
when you
she
tell these
go
children,
to the
they,
park with you beyond the Sunday school and Bible school situation? In other words, what was she really like as a human being beyond catching babies?
She was
she
loving.
was a,
Love everybody.
she was a jewel. She was just a jewel.
Okay, how was
Mama
she a
give you
jewel?
her
Tell
glory,
me,
right?
what
She
did
got-
she do to make her a jewel?
She know how to
She
say, you know
loved
how to
you.
talk to you, know how to talk
She
to
could touch
She
you.
knew how to talk.
She could
Okay.
touch you.
She was a
Yeah.
great
She
listener,
know how
right?
to attach you to her.
That's right.
Okay.
She could touch you, look like, and it just makes you just.
And all
I'm
children,
serious.
all
Okay.
children call her Big Mama. Call,
So she was compassionate.
call her Mama.
Yes.
Okay.
Call her children, Mama. But,
She was nicknamed what, Big Mom?
Big, but they call me Big Mama.
Okay. And what was her nickname?
Mama Wood.
Who?
They call her Mama Wood.
Mama Burke? Okay. All right. How did you really gravitate to her, Dr. Thompson?
Oh, I just loved her. I mean, I knew because
Did she tell you stories? Did you,
well,
what did you do with her? Go to the park?
well, I didn't get it. I only saw her in a church setting, maybe.
Okay.
That's where I would see her.
Okay.
Now, as far as going to her house, Mama probably took us, when I was little. But I saw her in a church, and I always respected her
Okay.
because Mama respected her and told us that she was the one who delivered.
Okay.
And I knew she saw me before my mother saw
So
me.
did.
And Mama always told me the story about how she turned me around. And I know she gave me a second chance
Sure did.
in life, always. But she was just a loving person, and I respected her.
She was just a jewel.
When she passed away, I was in Wisconsin, I believe. I wasn't here when what year did your mother pass? What year?
No, 19.
19.
Wait a minute. Dad died 207. 207.
Yeah, I knew I was in Wisconsin. I did not live here.
Dad
I
died
heard that
205.
she
Mom
had
died.
passed
Dad died
away.
205. Mom 207.
Okay. And so as a child, knowing these things about how she was instrumental in life for you, how did you show your love and affection to her?
I always respected
Did you
her.
kiss her, you know, sometimes?
Yeah,
you have to
we
kiss
can
her.
kiss
You don't go back with that.
And I remember
She
putting
grabbed
a few dollars in her hand.
You put some dollars.
Yes.
Okay.
When we would go to Simon Hill Church
Mhm.
with Dr. Lofton and I, you know, I would go before then, but mostly when I married him, because the
As an
pastor
adult.
would ask him to come.
Okay.
And I remember putting money
Mhm.
in her hand.
Mhm.
I remember doing that
Okay.
with her.
And as a child, you were lovable and
Yeah,
kissing on
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
and hugging
Kiss
her.
her baby.
Yeah.
Kiss
Oh,
her
God.
I
baby.
loved her baby.
Okay. And you looked for that hug, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah. And then when I became a pastor's wife, and where they sat in the church where they were,
Mhm.
I got to sit over in the section with her.
Okay.
Sure did.
And what was that like?
That was privilege for me, you know, because that's where they wanted to pass, you know, how they did the pastor's wife in some of the churches. And I mean, she would sit on that front seat, wouldn't she? Sweet. When your
Yeah,
mom sit on that front seat.
Oh, yeah.
that's right on the
So the
west side.
front seat is not
Simon.
only an honor in terms of you,
The
pastor's
mothers,
wife,
that's where
but
the
with
mothers
her-
sat.
Yes, okay.
In the motherboard section, and they wanted the pastors, if the pastor's wife was there,
Mhm.
they would, and I didn't mind it, you know, they would be older,
Yes.
but I didn't mind it.
Yes, the mentoring process
Yes.
is continued. Okay, very good. Can you provide names and contact information of children who interacted with the midwife? Some direct names?
Well, the whole Thompson family, my
Okay.
husband and and
Yeah.
Peggy Thomas, well, Peggy
Peggy,
retired.
Hymethia, give me the other name.
Lawrence is my husband.
Lawrence,
She
okay.
lived all of them.
She delivered
Oh,
all.
Lord, them sisters, brother.
I don't know all
I
the
go.
names, call them out.
Okay, Connie is,
Connie,
Connie is Connie Cage now, Cage.
okay.
And Peggy is Thomas now.
Thomas, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You and Thompson.
And I'm Thompson.
Althea, was she?
She was delivered by
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
You have her address. I sent you her address.
You sent it, okay.
I sent
Now what is Althea's last name?
Lynch.
Who?
Lynch. Lynch.
Okay. Lawrence, what is his last name?
Thompson. Yeah.
Oh, that's Thompson, your husband. Okay, thank you. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 listed here. Did she talk about medical doctors or nurses who discriminated against her?
No.
No.
Mama knew if you made her mad, you never didn't know. She didn't never go around and
She
say,
didn't
right,
talk about
if you did something to her, you never know.
She kept it to herself.
Mm.
Okay.
She didn't go around and,
No,
Okay.
she sure didn't.
But her husband talked about the jealousy in the black race.
Okay. Oh, in the black race. Was the midwife the community doctor or leader in your opinion? Was she like a community doctor?
No.
I think
No,
She
no.
had to have
Maybe
been,
have a
because
black
she
doctor.
had to have been, if she saved me.
Did she practice herbs and other kinds of things?
No, it was,
She
she-
didn't
but
take
she-
that.
but she knew when if you were pregnant,
she'll tell you what to
she'd
eat
tell you what to do,
and how to do it.
how to do it and everything. And
She
she
was a community.
and
So
she-
she gave some advice.
gave her advice.
Yeah, she gave
And
me,
she-
but I was a big one.
she
My mom
would
was like a pear.
And another thing she would tell you to do, when you get so many months, she'd tell you how to have sex.
Okay, okay.
Well, we all talk, she
Parents
would.
have been
She'd
saying-
tell you how to be safe having sex.
Okay.
Now, she told me
Okay.
more than one baby. I
Yeah,
had.
you know, my sister get married with another friend of mine. She and I was same year, had children. She'll have 2 to my 1. And she said, Miss Birdie, why you don't tell me like you tell Tweet? And then don't have, Mom, listen, if I just tell Tweet, she wouldn't have that question. She listened to me. You gotta do what she do.
This is what she, yeah.
But they'll have one every year, but I wouldn't have one every year. My children are 2 or 3 years apart. I have 4. And
Okay.
all of them 2 or 3 years apart. My baby, my oldest one be 65, My older one will be 65.
So did she give you any advice?
She told me that part, I never been able to keep my leg up, but I didn't.
Okay. All right, well, we'll move on.
And my baby be 59, 60.
Okay. What were some other kinds of things beyond church and family that she did within the community?
Oh, she
to
loved
your
old people.
knowledge?
She loved old people.
She
She
loved old
used to
people.
bring old people to the house, like every week, once a week, cook dinner,
Okay.
take them out riding, she take them to Pacifier Farm.
Really?
I remember Mr. Newseed, Mr. Foster's, my mama, grandmama had it.
Mhm.
Miss Sale Pie and all that, she would take them out riding to Pacifier Farm, and then at times she would take
So
them out
that's
to the
in
nursing
Florida.
home.
Pittsburgh Forest is in Florida.
And she just take them around, and take them out riding, and just and bring them to the house, and just sit down and have Bible class with elder people. And then on Wednesdays, if she wasn't at church, she'd bring the children to her house. And sometimes she'd have children stay all night. No, sometimes she'd have 1 week, she'd have all boys,
Mhm.
all the neighborhood boys. And then next week, she'd have all neighborhood girls.
Okay.
And bring them to her house, keep day and night. She used to do that.
Mhm.
But Miss Dave Wall says she talked about mama right today. She dead though.
Mhm.
Man said he won't take nothing from mama, but
Okay.
he,
And so she knew how to separate the
She
boys
got-
from the
she had-
girls in her home.
oh
Yeah, so she was a good mentor, it
That's
sounds
right.
like.
Definitely so.
Yeah, so what stands out most in your mind about Miss Bertha Parker? I got 3 ladies here, each one of
Well,
them.
one thing, I never saw her when she couldn't smile.
She always
She
smiled.
always smiled, don't care
Okay.
what. Now, I'm sure she had some time when there was,
oh yeah.
but I never saw her without a smile.
Okay.
Regardless of whether she was at her house or
God, what
whatever.
my dad was alcoholic though, but he loved himself some Bertha Parker.
Okay.
Everything he get, he gonna bring it home.
Okay, so
he
your
bring
father
it to mom. He
admired
get
her.
married, he get mad, he get drunk, but he gonna bring it home to mom.
Okay.
And he'll wait until her birthday. He started drinking, he'll be just good
Mhm.
until March. March until May.
Okay.
He gonna get drunk every day.
He knew what he was going to do there, and he could get away with it out of 12 months
Every
a
day.
year.
And he get on your nerves.
Okay,
He
now.
love himself some Bertha Parker though. He go out there and find something on the ground, boy, he bring it back to mom. And he gonna give it to you, he gonna get the book. He
Okay.
gonna get the book.
Yes, Dr. Thompson,
Yeah.
what stands out most in your mind?
Well, I think she was a proud black woman, and she knew her place. She knew her profession,
Sure did.
and she practiced her profession.
Okay.
Yeah, I just saw her as being a mentor, a person that was a proud black woman, in spite of everything going around.
Okay.
I never saw her to a point where she wasn't, even in the older age, when we would come back home,
Mhm.
often and I would come back, and we would somehow end up at Salmon Hill, because that's part of my mama's family church. And in her years of getting older, I still saw her. She dressed well. She
Oh,
looked,
yeah.
she looked very well on that mother
See how neat she is?
board. I just respected her.
But I didn't, I ain't
proud
gonna
with
really
her
do it.
profession as a professional woman. I know maybe people didn't look at her as a profession, but that article showed how she earned that profession.
Okay, okay. Did she believe in terms of you're talking about her profession in the calling from the Lord as a grand
Know what she
midwife?
always said? God gave her that talent. And that's what she always wanted to be, she loved it.
Okay.
She loved it until she had a stroke.
Till she had a stroke?
Because she couldn't deliver who, baby? I'm trying to think now. One of my sisters was my sister and my niece. Had a baby and she had to go to the hospital. But most of mama didn't live all her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren. Till she had this, I told her when she started having the health, she started having a stroke.
Okay, so was that what caused her to go into retirement?
And she started, no, she had to quit. Then she had this stroke.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
happened. And I know she told me something the other day when I went to ask her to participate in this. She said, I know, that let me know that she was discreet and had moral standards, because there were these 2 women. One was married to the man.
Mm-hmm.
The other was not married to the man, but they had children. They were on the way to deliver the same time.
What?
Francis
Mama had one at her house and she walked with Minnie.
What?
Minnie and
And she said that, and she knew this, rather than having the women in the same place. She told me that the other day.
See, Mama had friends
So
in her
was she
house.
to deliver the
My
baby?
sister-in-law had a baby too. My brother-in-law wanted to bring
Her brother-in-law was the man.
her sister-in-law,
Oh.
bring my sister-in-law over to her house. Mom said, no, I can't. And so she told, she wasn't here, I can't bring her because Francis over there. That's why she can't come.
You need
Mom had to walk over. He said, Mama told him, at that time,
a movie called This Really Did Happen.
my sister-in-law actually was a
A
midwife.
lot of things.
Oh my goodness.
Francis
And I can't imagine that happened in other places.
Right, this really did happen, you see?
She's-
So many secrets.
It wasn't 20 minutes before.
See, yeah,
One time, Mama walked to Minnie's, and I was there with Francis. I walked from Minnie's house to Francis. So when,
Well, here's a question about that maybe. Did males play a role during the midwifery process?
Yeah, he
Because
had
what
to
you
close
said
his
earlier
mouth.
about going
Men
down.
He had to.
men were forced to
Yeah, my brother-in-law was the Corbin.
Oh,
And his wife was having a baby by him and his girlfriend, who was really
yeah, but his
in
wife, auntie was a midwife.
Mhm.
At the same time, she stayed up the street. And Mama told her, go there and get her, Aunt Sadie, to come back down here and get. He said, Mom, I don't want to say it. Mom said, you ain't having your baby, and they having your baby. You know what you want to do, who wants to.
And Miss
But
Mama was to
Mama
Miss
could not-
Mama deliver.
But
She
Mama told
delivered
him,
both babies.
Well, how, did she have a sister?
Separate
sister?
houses.
Mama don't deliver some baby by herself and what
She
she
was
by
a-
Well,
herself.
I guess that was a time to
Neighborhood.
deliver herself because
I
somebody
hear
could
that.
get killed
Uh-uh.
in that kind of situation.
But they never did know it.
And they were what, minutes apart or what you
They
say?
about 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
What about
By the time I walk
you?
from my house to her, Minnie's house to my house.
See, they were in two different houses and then she had to shut her brother-in-law up.
No.
Because he was saying, I want Miss Bertha, I don't want Sadie. I know the other midwife too, that they didn't want. Neither
Mama
one of the
had-
women wanted the
Mama
other
said, I said,
midwife.
Mama,
Okay,
Mama had to have, Mama had two
Did
patients.
they know about each other? Did these
No,
two women
no.
know?
The wife, the woman knew about the wife, of course, and then the wife ended up knowing about the
Found out
woman. And, you know,
eventually
she had more than
about the
one child about the lady's husband.
Okay, oh, well, yes, Miss Parker was in the strategic.
Yeah, she couldn't bring both of them, but she couldn't no bed. Well, anyway, she
Oh,
got
my
Sadie finished.
She would have to have been a woman of character.
She was.
Yes.
She was.
She was.
Because
Because
that
if she
could have
didn't
been
care,
very messy.
if she didn't care, she would have had both of those women right there together.
Sure would.
If she was a talker, a
That's
gossip,
right,
she
that's
would-
right.
Ooh, that would have gotten out quickly.
That's right.
All of it would have been a
And it
country
was
job.
her brother-in-law, her
All
husband's
kinds of
brother that was
virgins.
involved.
Okay, let's move on. Have you shared your story with children within your family and your community?
Most of
You
my
have shared?
my son got a whole copy of this about Mama and midwife.
Okay.
And my children know my mama, they know Mama was a midwife.
Now, what about their children's children?
No.
They need to know it.
Right, they need to know it. We have a project that's going on, and I will share that with you after the interview.
And my grandmother, I don't realize that Thea knew grandmama was, Thea knew grandmama Catherine was a midwife.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was, mama had 4 of us who were daddies.
Okay.
And so my brothers, I guess, could care less one way or the other. But my sister, but I spent a lot of time with her, so I got to know her story.
Okay, very good. And you are an excellent storyteller, so I know you can pass that legacy down within a few weeks.
Yeah, well, it's just that it's, you know, it's a sad story that has not been told. But Mama always told us about Miss Bertha.
Oh, yeah.
We always grew up
That's
respecting Miss Burke.
Yeah, so her contribution,
Yes,
Yeah.
what would come to the woman,
yeah.
the midwife,
Mhm.
would need to be shared,
Mhm.
those positive things to the children. The children need to know those kinds of things
About the midwife.
about the midwife.
Mhm.
Okay, and you have brought along some artifacts. I have here article photos.
Okay,
Is
now
there
she
anything
has to
else?
take, this is my grandmother, my dad, this is the side, just take this lady, the last one right here. That's my dad's mother, the midwife. That was at my wedding when I married Lawrence the first time in
Okay.
'68.
And what is her name?
Catherine Hopper.
That's Catherine Harper,
Mhm.
okay. So you have a photo of Catherine Harper, midwife.
And this is you in the wedding dress?
Mhm. I was Hugh Jackson State then, getting ready to go into my junior year.
Well, ladies, this has really been very, very exciting. As you can see, I have scribbled notes everywhere here within the paper.
Yeah, they really got early for it. Goodness.
Because as you were going on, I had to find some space to continue. And I am just really so elated that you came along. And all three of you have just shared this
I can't
significant
remember Catherine.
information.
My grandmother? No, these are my grandmothers.
That's,
That's my grandmother Catherine right there.
I know I had a couple of them, but I
Yeah,
had,
that-
ain't
my
Liz,
grandmother-
That's my great grandmother.
this ain't
My
Liz.
mother, I was surrounded by grandmother's first grandchild on both sides. My great grandmother bought me a car when I